My first console ever was the NES. Well, technically it was the Atari 2600, but that one I had to borrow whenever my older cousin was not playing with it. And it was a big junk to really appreciate it, to be honest. The next console I owned was the Sega Genesis. Of course I was older at that time. First time that I'd made the conscious decision to ask my parents for that particular console after seeing a friend play Quackshot. By the way, that game is awesome. And oh my god, I felt in love with it. I mean, just look at it. It's arguably the sexiest console ever made. Oh my god. And of course the version I got had the Sonic game packing with it. From there on, it's just a love with the blue bird. Getting all the Sonic games for the Sega Genesis was something that I was always looking forward to. Every time a new Sonic came out, I was just all over it. Of course, Sega went in and fucked everything up, but I guess that's the story for another time. In any case, I have been really hyped for this game since it was announced. It tickled pretty much all the boxes for, a great Sonic game. And when we all saw that Christian Whitehead logo pop in the screen, everyone just got more hype for it. But why? Well, it's simple. This dude is a real Sonic fan. He created a Sonic fan game that was better than anything Sonic Team was doing at that time. The guy fixed pretty much all the issues with Sonic CD, converting it in one of the best Sonics ever made. And he's even going to be working on another Sonic lookalike game, Freedom Planet 2. The first game was actually great as well. Also, a lot of the team that worked in these games are actual Sonic fans, making this a Sonic game for fans by fans. I pre-ordered the game on Steam. Why? Because I wanted to use the Sega Genesis controller, of course. But the game got delayed for 2 weeks on the PC. Honestly, this is the way to enjoy a Sonic game like this one. The game does not support these controllers natively, but you can download the program Joy2Key and use that to map the keyboard to the controller. And for that, of course, you need a USB adapter for these types of controllers. They're very easy to find. Customize your game and you're ready to roll. See what I did there? Do you see it? Do you see it? There's also a lot of talk of the game using the DRM Denuvo. Problem is that the game won't allow you to play offline, but I believe at the time of this video that has been patched and now you can do it, so don't worry about that. In any case, I have been extremely hyped for this game. Is my hype justified? Sonic 4 and its sequels, though not the worst of Sonic games, they really felt generic and a little bit underwhelming, especially as a continuation of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But wouldn't you know, this game says, no, we are the actual sequel. Sonic and Knuckles go back to Angel Island after the events of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. That's because a strong energy signal was detected by Tails, and not only him, also Dr. Robotnik. And yes, Dr. Robotnik, come on, it's so much better than Dr. Eggman, come on. So he creates a band of robots called the Hard Boil Heavies, and Hard Boil. Oh, I get it. Okay, Dr. Eggman, you got me. For now. So they get to the source of the energy first, and they excavate a gemstone called the Phantom Ruby, which seems to have the power to send people to different places from their past, creating some sort of portals. From there we visit places that we've been there before, and some new places as well, trying to get the gemstone back. Not only that, but we also get to see that little planet that Eggman created back in Sonic CD, and we need to take care of that as well. I mean, Sonic's stories have never really been that important. This one feels like a filler story in between major arcs, but not in a bad way. It's fun seeing these new robots and even their own motivations. It's a serviceable story that really is not even needed. Okay, this looks and sounds exactly as it should for a real Sonic 4 game. I mean, look at it. This looks like a game that the 32X or the Sega Saturn could actually run. So this is what a true successor would look like. I mean, this is perfect. Just perfect. Well, if I had any gripe with it, it's not really a gripe, it's just nitpicking. Is that although generally excellent, the new music I felt was not as memorable as the remixes of the old themes, except of course the intro theme and the Hard Boiled one. I love those two. Those two are just fucking great. Could that be my nostalgia goggles talking? Maybe, but it's just how I feel. There's two mixes for each act of that level. The first act sounds just like the all original games, with a little bit of extra oomph to it. And Act 2 is a remix of those themes. Both sound great. Also, look at the levels. The old ones look great in widescreen and high definition, and the more you see, the more details you find, especially on the backgrounds. And as you move along on those levels, you see more and more new stuff. It's just great seeing those old classic games with new stuff on them. The new levels as well, they look beautiful. I mean, look at this. Every single one of the levels just looks perfect. The animation here, oh my god, the animation is great. The cartoon sequences done by the Archie comic artists look so freaking cool. They remind me a lot of the intro for Sonic CD. Everything is done so well in this game. The devil is in the details, even the enemies. I mean, look at this little bird here. He takes a picture of you before he wants to kill you. What about this guy? Oh, you almost don't want to kill him. And look at those two little guys. They're playing frisbee with a freaking saw. Be careful, little guys. Everything regarding the presentation on Sonic Mania is a love letter to all Sonic fans. And love letter is right. You will hear that a lot from this game. As you have seen, the game looks as it controls, just like the 16-bit counterparts. It plays just as you remember. And again, if you play with the Sega Genesis controller, that feeling is just way better. Everything is there. You got the same moves, except the double jump shield from Sonic 3, but you can activate it later on, not directly as you start the game. You do have a new jump dash move, where you can pick up speed when you are jumping. And when you land, then you dash. Truthfully though, I didn't even know the move existed when I played this game originally, so I played it without ever using it, but I can see how it can be useful, especially when you're trying to speedrun. When you're trying to shave a little bit of seconds when you do time attack, I think for that specifically it's gonna be even better. It's actually really fun to check your best time worldwide with leaderboards. You can actually do competition as well, just like in Sonic 2, while I love to be able to play with friends, especially in the couch. I don't have any friends. I think now in 2017 would have been great if you could play online this same mode. But hey, nothing is perfect, I guess. Debug mode is here as well, just as in Sonic 1. There we go, that's enough rings. It's never enough rings. And yes, you can have Knuckles as your partner instead of Tails. Whee! Of course you can save your game. You can play as Sonic, Tails or Knuckles just as you could in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And each one has different ways to play through and traverse the levels in different ways. And you want to do that to explore the levels because you need to find these big rings as before to collect the Chaos Emeralds. So you can get the good ending and be able to transform into Super Sonic, which by the way, now you have a different button to activate it, which I think it's great actually. Back in Sonic 2 you just needed to jump and boom, you will transfer into Super Sonic. In Sonic 3 you needed to do a double jump, which was an improvement. And talking about shields, here you have the exact same shields as you did in Sonic 3, which I really would have loved to see new ones, especially for a new Sonic game. If there's one thing that this game did extremely better compared to the old ones, is the game bosses. Honestly, the old bosses most of the time were pretty stupid and easy. Not all of them, mind you. I mean, that boss was a pain to get through. And the music was really creepy. Ah! It's here again. No. Oh, that wasn't that hard. Every boss now has some sort of gimmick and a way to fight them instead of just being brain numbing, just jumping on them. Also, they look really cool and the animation looks great and they're very fun to play against, except the very last boss. Honestly, this boss is very stupid, especially once you compare to the other bosses in this same game. And talking about the Chaos Emeralds again, the special stages to get them feel just like the Sonic CD ones, especially the Whitehead port. It scrolls really smooth and it's really fun to play. It even has those polygon birds and fishes that the old stages used to have. Pretty neat. You need to be able to get to this UFO carrying the Chaos Emerald. For that you need to pick up speed, and for that you need to get blue balls. Yeah, no joke here. Rings will give you more time. All you need to do is get to the UFO. Also, we have the special stages from Sonic 3. You need to get 25 rings, a checkpoint, and boom, you're there. Some of the stages are exactly the same one as the old ones, and we have new ones. And I love these ones. They're really fun to play again. The level design is phenomenal. And all the new tricks and fun stuff in every corner you see is really fun to find out. Every time you go to new places, new ways to play all levels, new mechanics for every single level, everything is fantastic. It's actually really hard to be bored by this game. It plays like a dream. It feels great to be playing a new Sonic game, an actual good Sonic game. This game, I believe, is just what Sonic needed. Hell, the gaming industry needed. Just as Shovel Knight before it and many other games, this game proves that retro gaming is great for a reason, just not only because of nostalgia factor. And how can you explain that this game is being the best critically acclaimed Sonic game in more than 2 decades? There's a reason for that. Hopefully more companies go back to their roots and what used to make your games great back then and improve upon them. Alright folks, you gotta make Sonic great again. Believe me. Do I believe that Sonic Mania is the best 2D Sonic game of them all? I don't know. I think it would certainly be on my top 3, but I'm not exactly sure it's my number 1, but it's really close. For what this game goes for, it's a no-brainer to go ahead and buy it. And here goes for more games like this in the future. So, thanks for watching Gokado's Retro Reviews, and hasta la próxima. You gotta go watch the Historic Nerd. Did you look at all those beauty shots of the consoles with the white background? He made all of those. And also look at this one here. It's the comparison with the Sonic Collector's Edition with the actual Sega Genesis. Isn't it great? His channel has all sorts of great retro gaming goodness. Go check him out. Give him some love. And while you're doing that, just go ahead and subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Alright guys, see you later.